Hey guys, and welcome to another little video. This one is going to be a review, and we're dealing with bipods. So if you've followed the channel at all over the last wee while back, I have done a couple of reviews on the mountain bipod and the BACKLANZ bipod. So we have a couple of upgraded versions here. Let's look into them.
Now I just want to say both of these bipods, or all of these bipods that I have used, I have personally bought. I am not affiliated with MDT, Mountain Gear or BACKLANZ. I'm just a gear junkie that loves good gear. So I have purchased these with my own money, and Matt kindly sent me this backcountry one to chuck in there. I'm going to send that back to him. So none of this has been given to me. Both companies are excellent companies, and Matt and Ethan at BACKLANZ have been awesome to deal with. So let's start with the BACKLANZ. This is the Alpine Precision range. Comes in a nice little case like this. You've got your bipod, instructions, spare feet, stickers, whatnot. This is a nice case. So with this bipod you have your cant lock, your Picatinny rail lock, you have a leg adjustment, so you have different positions that the legs can go, and then you have the splay of the legs, so you can go out wide. There's 3 positions that these legs on each side can go, straight up and down, and the same with the feet, so you can go forward and you have 3 positions. This is a extremely well made bipod, made in New Zealand here, and you can see by looking at it that it's quality. This one is, there's 2 models. There's a notched one for the legs, which this bit here is notched, and this one, I have the carbon one, which has just got the ring locks there, and then underneath the feet you have just stuff like that. So that is the makeup of the BACKLANZ. Yeah, like I said, extremely well made, and an absolutely awesome bipod. So here we have the BACKLANZ fitted to a stock on the Picatinny rail. This is easy fitting. You have the BACKLANZ connection, you have a Picatinny rail, and literally put it on there, close the thing, you're locked on, you're not going anywhere. We have a cant adjustment, so the stock can twist side to side, and that is locked in place with that little locker there, so that can't go anywhere now. And then you can pull this out and adjust that to wherever you like on the locker. So again, awesome piece of kit. These legs splay out so that you can see there, low, 1 up, 2 up, and then legs out. There and there. Next we have the Mountain Gear, or MDT, which it's now branded as. This was sold, it's a made in New Zealand design bipod, which then Matt from Mountain Gear has sold to MDT. So now it is the MDT mountain and backcountry bipods. Let's dive into these and give you a bit of an idea. So we'll start with the backcountry. The backcountry is probably the most simple bipod that you can get. Again, Picatinny rail mount, It has a awesome little button that locks in to your Picatinny rail, and it has leg adjustments. Again, 3 leg adjustments. It doesn't spread out. It is locked in place like that. Has your leg adjustments there, and nice spiky feet. This model has a pan and tilt in the head there. This goes around and sideways. So MTN or MDT backcountry. Basically push the little button on there, and that adjusts that in there, so that locks that in place. So you can thread that on there, and that basically won't go anywhere. That is your setup. Quick, easy, on, off, push the button, slide it off. Yeah, so that's the backcountry bipod. We have the mountain bipod, which is, I've got 2 versions here. We have the Arca, which is this one, and we have the Picatinny rail, which is this one. They come in the box with bits and bobs, everything that you need to either use from Arca or Picatinny. You can buy a separate Arca or Picatinny, and you can change over with the top here. It's an Allen key on the top. You can change from Picatinny to Arca, and it literally takes 2 minutes. So this one here, again, it's got the feet. This is my personal one that I've used. You have 2 positions. This one has been updated. 2 positions for your legs, either flat underneath the rifle or down in place. This one can be adjusted, so you can go anything from there, and you have 6 adjustment points right out to pretty much flat on the ground. But yeah, again, an extremely well made, super light bipod that I wouldn't be without in the backcountry. Just recently upgraded to the XLR magnesium chassis on my 7mm Blaser Magnum, and this Arca setup is fantastic. Underneath here, folding stock. That goes on the side of the pack, just like that. You're away laughing. Ready to go. Slide that forward. Lock that in place. That down, and you're good to go. We have the mountain bipod with the Picatinny rail adjustment. Again, same button there. Push the button, slide it on, goes on there, legs down. You're away laughing. And these are your adjustments. So this one works a wee bit different to the BACKLANZ. On the BACKLANZ you adjust both legs. This one you literally one hand adjustment, and you push the button from behind here, push it out, put it to wherever you want, lock it in place, and then you just twist your rifle. There's been plenty of times out in the backcountry where I have needed a shooting position where this thing has just been amazing. You can get yourself into all sorts of awkward positions, shooting downhill, on a lean, on a rock wall. It's just, you can use it in just about any way, in any terrain. There hasn't been terrain where I haven't been able to set it up, which is pretty cool. So pros and cons. Pros and cons. In the last video I got a bit of chip from a couple of people for saying that I was biased towards one side than the other, and I mean, essentially you're going to sort of lean towards the stuff that you like using the most, and you weigh that up with the pros, the cons, and everything that it makes up the gear that you use in your packs. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit biased to the things that I like. And again, I'm not associated with any of these guys, so I'm literally using this gear, testing it in the backcountry, and finding out what I like and what I don't like. So let's start off with BACKLANZ. So pros to the BACKLANZ: it is extremely well made. There is next to no movement. I mean, with moving parts and everything on these bipods, you're going to have a little bit of movement in places. This here has just got just a tiny wee bit side to side here. When this is fitted onto the rail, there is movement in the legs, very slight, but again, like you've got moving parts, you're going to have a bit of a movement. When this is pushed up in the ground and you've got forward pressure on everything, it's rock solid. So yeah, pros of this is the quality of build is awesome. The other pro is the nice big buttons. So on the legs here for your adjustments, you've got nice big buttons. So you've got gloves on, anything like that. You push the button, move the bipod. Same with the front camber buttons. Nice big buttons. Feels good. Yeah, that's definitely a pro for that sort of thing. Now cons, things that I personally don't like. This bipod has a couple of options for legs. The carbon legs and the notched legs. The notched legs comes with a button, and it springs out. I don't have one of them here. I couldn't get my hands on one, so you just have to deal with this one. This one here, your adjustment is down at the foot. Now I find that when you're in the backcountry, you're lying down on the ground, you're wanting to adjust your legs, you're in grass or anything like that, snow. I do quite a lot of winter hunting, and these adjustments are not nearly as easy to adjust than the mountain gear ones. They are like aluminium, hard aluminium. They're harder to grip, being down right next to this foot here. It is harder to adjust. It just it gets wet, it gets slippery, and it's not as easy to adjust as the mountain bipod is. So that would be a con if you're forcing them, against each other, which essentially we are, because we want the best gear. The other con that I did not like about this is I almost lost this bipod 2 or 3 times using it in the backcountry, simply because this little clip that locks it onto the Picatinny rail got caught and did that. I'm not sure whether Ethan has a lock unit, but I'm sure that someone else has probably had the same issue. The last thing you want to be doing is losing a $1,200 piece of kit because that there caught on something and flicked off. So I did not like that at all. The Picatinny mount on the mountain gear has the button, and it pushes that little arm which locks it on the Picatinny rail. So that there, you have that on your pack, you have it strapped to your pack, you're going through bush, it catches, it's not coming off, no matter what, pretty much. You'd have to be extremely unlucky for a piece of something to hit that, and then that it can't come off there, it has to slide up. So that is quite a big thing for me. Again, if you're versing this versus this, you have to adjust both legs with this one. So on both sides you have a button here and a button there for this side and this side. So you can't do it one-handed, whereas the mountain gear is a button on the underside there, and you literally put it there, adjust, that's it. There's no having to adjust one side or the other side. So if you're lining up on an animal and it moves and you need to move position, it's literally one hand up, adjust there, and you're right. I do really like that. Yeah, essentially that's the pros, the cons of the BACKLANZ versus the mountain bipod. So now let's look at the mountain bipod pros, cons versus the BACKLANZ. So the mountain bipod pros, cons. There is more movement in this thing than the BACKLANZ because the BACKLANZ is a clamp system and this is a slide on and off system. It can be adjusted, and every Picatinny rail is different, but there is a little bit of movement there. And in the unit itself, you can sort of see, there's just a little bit of movement there in the legs. And again, you have all these moving parts, the same with both of them. You're going to have a little bit of play. There's a little bit of play that way. But again, if you're lying on the ground in the dirt, forward pressure is not going anywhere, and you can't feel anything when you've got forward pressure on it. And that goes for both bipods. Pros, cons, the buttons, again on the last lot of mountain bipods, these buttons here on the side were smaller and Matt's made them bigger, so they are a lot easier to press and adjust. Which is great. They're not as big as the BACKLANZ ones. It's not really a pro or a con that. They both work very well. The leg adjustment. I kind of talked about this already. Having the leg adjustment up high is an awesome feature of this bipod, because again, you're in the dirt, you're lying down prone, you want to adjust it. It's in the snow, it's in the mud, whatever, it's right down in there. Up here, it's a rubber outer adjuster compared to the BACKLANZ alloy adjuster. Quarter of a turn, or not even quarter of a turn. Done. So you can be lying down, arm out of the dirt, adjust, bang, and that's it, right? And that's not going anywhere. I personally really like that. I did find the BACKLANZ one a lot harder to use in the leg adjustment than the mountain gear. Again, personal preference. Don't crucify me for the little things that I like. If you're getting picky, there are more options of angle, and I guess it just gives you just more options for getting it in that perfect position on the hill. So yeah, so the pros, cons. This one definitely has more movement than the BACKLANZ. I've been running these for, like I said, 5 years. It's not flimsy. I've never broken one, and I didn't break this either. But I mean, if you compare them side by side in hand, this one here definitely feels sturdier and stronger than the mountain bipod, but I've never broken it. So I guess if you're extremely rough on gear, but yeah, like I said, I've used it for the last 5 years, haven't broken it, been in the hills, been in some silly positions, and if you did break it, Matt has been awesome with his warranty stuff, and anyone that has broken anything or had, some of the earlier models had faults, with, you know, this head here loosening and you having to tighten it with an Allen key and people tightening the wrong things and snapping off things. This doesn't have that anymore. So there's literally it just is what it is. On the bipod, the legs are longer on the mountain bipod, and because of the way that this is set up compared to that, this will go taller. So that there versus that there is, you know, quite a considerable amount. If you want more movement or more adjustment for getting higher out of the grass or anything like that. The next thing you're going to compare when you're purchasing these things is obviously going to be the price. That's going to be a big thing for anyone really. I mean, you're putting your hard-earned money into a good piece of engineering. You want to make sure that you're getting your bang for your buck. So the prices for these things, the BACKLANZ is $1,100 for this leg, the carbon leg model. If you want the notched legs, then it's $1,150. This is NZ dollars. Obviously the notched legs do add a wee bit more weight. Again, it's a trade-off, weight versus usability. Whereas the mountain bipod is 750 New Zealand dollars. So quite a considerable difference in price for essentially, you know, two very similar items. I'm not sure at the moment. Obviously this is all having a changeover with MDT now owning this. It's no longer mats or mountain gears, it's MDT. So they will come out with the pricing with this, and I think they have slightly changed the models from what I have here, just in the head unit. But essentially it will be exactly the same as what I have. So yeah, those of you that are on a tighter budget, another $400 to get that, you know, it's quite a lot of money. So you guys can make up your minds on what you like and what you want to spend, and the usability of both of these is awesome. Great NZ made products, and yeah, get out there, get out hunting, support the people. If you're into gear like me, then you'll be liking these things. So cheers for watching, guys. I hope that helped. I hope that helped at all. If you've got any questions on either of these bipods and the backcountry one, chuck us a line. I'll do my best to answer it. I've probably missed something with them, but hey, we just do what we can do. And yeah, the basic overview of these bipods.